Люди, які залучені до цієї роботи, насправді такі самі мобілізовані і кілька місяців тому або кілька днів тому прийшли на службу. Вони ще
Cognitive, her brain still works. Damn. That video above it is the one I saw. They grabbed dude off the street right there.
Damn.
From his mama.
Hold on.
They said, get in the car, boy. Yanked his clothes off. That's how they drafting people.
Gotta go fight in this war.
This is what the American people, the American left is fighting for.
Oh.
This is what the American left supports.
That mean if they ran out of soldiers, who else? Where they gonna get their soldiers from?
They're forcing them to get up. They're putting these people on the front lines. No training. Get that boy AK. Go die for your country.
Wow.
Wow.
This is insane.
This is what Ukraine is fighting. This is a sovereign nation. This is what Buddy was crying for. This is a sovereign nation.
Don't cry about the immigrants.
Where's
no
your
more.
suit?
This doesn't look very somber.
Fuck out of here, man. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse my language today, man.
This is terrible.
This is awful.
And all Trump said he wanted to do was end it.
Yeah.
The Ukrainian army desperately needs to enlist more troops, but more than 2 years into the war, is struggling to find willing volunteers. Our correspondent, Jane McKenzie, reports from the city of Odessa.
At Sergei's wedding, it wasn't just the weather that didn't go to plan. Half of the guests didn't show up. Going out in public is now too risky for men who don't want to enlist. But the bride, Tanya, understands why her friends and family don't want to fight. Her father was killed on the front line.
Are you afraid that you might be caught and sent?
Yes, I'm afraid. I also afraid.
Of course I'm afraid too and don't want it. It happened twice in my family.
Public transport has become a no-go for those trying to avoid the draft. Conscription officers have a fearsome reputation for dragging people off buses and taking them to conscription centres. These officers are on the hunt for draft dodgers. It's hard to find willing soldiers these days, so now it's the law for men to register so they can be called up.
Are you part of the problem? Because people are hiding from you, they're scared of you.
Look, some people react aggressively towards us. Others run away from us. This happens often. I don't think these people have been well brought up.
These guys are having a pretty difficult time finding people who are eligible to serve, and they do accept that some people are hiding from them, but they are urging men to come forward because they say everybody has to play their part in defending this country.
Behind these walls, men are hiding at the very moment the Ukrainian army needs them the most. Russia, with its superior manpower, is on the offensive. This is Vova. He won't leave the house without checking these social media groups, which tell him where the officers are.
I don't walk outside at all now, unless I'm with my daughter, because they don't take people with their children.
Korean troops. Special correspondent Jack Hewson looks at Ukraine's dilemma and the country's sometimes harsh solutions.
The promise of excitement, thrill, and adventure. This ad is one of hundreds designed to appeal to young Ukrainians to sign up to fight. But some are not well suited for the role. And young men are increasingly being stopped in public spaces by recruitment officers. As Ukraine's casualties have mounted, a new law has mandated all men over 25 to update their contact details so they may be called on to replace the fallen.
If I were Ukrainian and wishing to avoid military service, then this would be a very hazardous place to be. Territorial recruitment officers can approach me and ask to see my documents, and if they're not in order, I can be summoned. If I refuse to be summoned, the only person who legally is supposed to be able to detain me is a policeman. But in reality, territorial recruitment officers have been bundling men into the back of vehicles and sending them off to training centres and then on to the front. Scores of videos of men being dragged off of the street have emerged on social media. And there are many more who have been deceived in other ways. Mikhailo, speaking to me independently of the military chain of command at his new base in Donbass, was tricked into driving straight to a training camp when he voluntarily updated his details at a medical commission office.
And before they took me to car, they was very polite. They smiled at me and they said, everything will be okay. No, don't worry, everything, just 2 hours and you will come back. And when I sit to their car, it's like, I was like a prisoner.
So how did that make you feel? You must have been very angry.
Yeah, I was confused, angry, and lost about this. Because they even didn't give me time to go home, to kiss my wife, to kiss my baby.
Some against their will. On the front line, the lack of keen recruits is sorely felt. We visited an artillery unit near to Chaziv Yar to ask what is most severely needed. Ammunition shortages are a major problem in the face of Russia's advance. But troop shortages are just as critical, in particular an acute lack of infantry. Can you feel any difference from the recruitment drive?
No, we don't know where the newly mobilized people are. Almost nothing has changed for us. They don't add people to help here, yet they may even take some from here instead.
Many of those on the front are close to exhaustion. Some haven't had a break since they first signed up when Russia invaded in 2022. Andriy dutifully told us that morale was high, but his face seemed to tell a different story.
We feel that fatigue from this war, but if we give up, then the situation will be far worse than it is now. But yes, we are tired. We are all so fed up with this war.
Ганьба полиции! Ганьба! Ганьба полиции! Ганьба! Ганьба полиции! Ганьба! Ганьба полиции! Ганьба! Ганьба полиции! Ганьба!